I'm going to discuss why I just think it's ridiculous that people are they still think the Switch Pro is going to be the super powerful or, very powerful version of the Switch. Don't expect, DLSS and visual improvements. Just simple reasons why the Switch Pro isn't some powerful console, and it's just going to be a revision just like 2019. It might have some more changes than that, but um, it's going to be what I would consider a minor revision. Nintendo's not going to phase out the current Switch, put it in a dock, take your Joy Cons off, and replace that with some super powerful new console that has exclusive games. They're not going to do that with a console that's sitting at 80 something million dollars or 80 something million on its way to 100 million by the end of this year, before the end of this year. They're just not going to do it. You're not going to phase out your standard Switch for some pro console that not everybody's going to want. It just makes no sense. I think it's going to have a more efficient screen, whether that means an OLED or not, and possibly a slight redesign. So maybe the screen's bigger, less bezel, whatever. It's still going to have the same general size and stuff of the current Switch. Joy-Cons are still going to plug into this thing. It's not going to be, thinner. It's not going to be less height, more height. It's going to be the same design so that the current Joy-Cons can plug into it. Maybe the screen's bigger and the bezel's smaller. Handheld's going to get the biggest improvement. You're going to have possibly a bigger screen, possibly a better screen, longer battery life, or they could they could reduce the battery size, have the chip be more efficient, shrink the battery down to like the Switch Lite version, and have the same battery life, but now you have a lighter system. Maybe they put better speakers in it or something because there's more room. Maybe they put better speakers in it or something because there's more room. That's what you should expect. If you're expecting anything else than that, I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to be in for a pretty big disappointment. I think people are crazy if they think Nintendo's going to release a $400 power, state of the art Nvidia chip with DLSS support, games running at 4K and all that. Who's going to develop for this new Switch an exclusive game when there's 100 million plus Switch and Switch Lite owners out there? It's just not going to happen. Anything else, I think you're grasping at straws, and I think at that point, just release the new freaking Switch. No, you're not going to get 4K games, ports of PS5 games like Super Metal Dave was saying. You're not going to get that. I'm sorry. If they were going to do that, if Nintendo was going to replace the Switch with a more powerful Switch, they should have did it 2 years ago. It's basically repeating the Switch they brought out that had longer battery. People are going to be angry. Why would they be angry? They only be angry at themselves and all the rumor people. There's no one else to be angry at. Like, why would Nintendo, at this point, release a console that's significantly more powerful than the current Switch? Nintendo never set this up. This is what happens when you have 2 straight years of people saying the Switch Pro was real and it was coming out. In 2019, there's 2 new SKUs. One's a mini, one's the Pro. The Switch Lite gets announced. All right, the Switch Pro is next. And then Digital Foundry finds out, oh yeah, this new SKU, it's going to have this Tegra 2 and it's twice as efficient, but it's going to be running at the same clock speed as the current, well, not the exact same clock speed, but the exact same configuration, so games run identical, but you get double the battery life. And they reported that, and then people were still saying it's the Switch Pro. And then the next year, well, maybe the Switch Pro's coming out. Oh no, because of COVID, it got delayed. Yeah, you're right. Nintendo will get attacked for other people, for rumor reporting and stuff, getting people's expectations. It's built up to the point where they're going to be disappointed if it's not what all these rumors said it was. The problem with rumors is when they lead to expectations that get so high that no matter what Nintendo does with games and, just talking about games and with Nintendo Directs and everything, you're going to be disappointed. And it's not Nintendo's fault you're disappointed. It's your fault for believing these rumors and following all these people who report this stuff, like Super Metal Dave. And what do you guys think what do you think the reaction will be when it's like, hey, you got this better OLED screen, longer battery life, and maybe a better Bluetooth or Wi-Fi? What if it's just that? What do you guys think the reaction would be from the casual fans? I just think I think it would be bad, but it wouldn't be Nintendo's fault because why would, like everyone says, why would they? The thing sounds so well. Why would you mess with the formula?